Hey Cowboys fans! Gather round because we need to talk about something that has been stirring up the community. And it involves the human side of the game that a lot of people forget about. This isn't just about stats, plays, or the latest film breakdown. This is about players as real people. And the consequences of fans crossing the line when emotions run high, you know? We pour our hearts into rooting for America's team. We invest time, money, and passion into watching every snap. And sometimes that makes us feel like we have a personal stake in every play, but there is a hard limit to how far that should go. And recently, that line was blurred in a way that really needed to be addressed. A recent situation involving Wayne Thomas has brought this issue to the forefront. Someone from the fan base sent a direct message to Thomas, questioning the defensive discipline of the team. On the surface, it might look like just another fan critique, but the context and timing of this message were completely off. This wasn't sent right after a frustrating game or during a period where feedback could be part of the conversation. It came randomly, out of nowhere, and it had the potential to cause more harm than good. Fans often forget that players are human beings with personal lives, challenges, and pressures that extend far beyond the football field. In this case, Thomas had been dealing with significant personal and physical struggles, including health issues that affected his ability to perform at his peak. When Thomas responded to the fan, he did so with remarkable composure, simply replying in a way that reflected his values and perspective, offering a Bible app and a message that encouraged reflection rather than conflict. And that is exactly the point. The way he handled it shows maturity and humanity. He didn't attack, didn't lash out, and didn't escalate the situation. He addressed it in a manner that was consistent with his own principles, demonstrating patience and emotional intelligence that so many in the fan base could learn from. This interaction also highlights a broader issue: the tendency for fans to take things personally and misinterpret normal human responses as weaknesses or failings. Sending a message to a player with the expectation of a reaction or confrontation is not only misguided but crosses into harassment, especially when it targets someone who is already managing injuries, personal grief, or other off-field challenges. Let's talk about the timing. This message was sent in the days following a tragic loss for Thomas, which makes the attempt to expose him not just inappropriate but insensitive. The fans' intention may have been to provoke or push for a certain response, but what it really did was show a lack of understanding of human decency. Sports fandom can be intense, and passionate criticism is part of that experience. But direct harassment is something else entirely. Players live under a microscope, and yes, criticism is part of the job, but there is a difference between critiquing performance publicly and targeting someone personally, especially during moments of vulnerability. Thomas's response was a reminder that the players are navigating far more than what appears on the screen every Sunday. He didn't retaliate, he didn't escalate. He responded with a reminder of faith, patience, and perspective, which is exactly the type of leadership and emotional intelligence that deserves recognition. For fans who might think that messaging a player directly is a way to make an impact or show support, it's worth taking a step back. The reality is, this behavior often backfires. Instead of motivating or inspiring, it can create tension, misunderstandings, and unnecessary stress for the very players we care about. The human side of football is often overlooked because the spotlight is always on stats, highlights, and game outcomes, but players have personal battles, injuries, and mental health struggles that don't disappear between the lines of the field. Wayne Thomas, in particular, has had to deal with migraines and other physical challenges that kept him from fully competing at a time when he could have made a significant impact in the safety battle for the team. That is the context that needs to be recognized, and it's the context that some fans completely ignored in their misguided attempt to send unsolicited criticism. This is why perspective matters. Thomas's response to the fan reflects more than just a polite reply. It reflects awareness, resilience, and the ability to maintain composure under pressure. He acknowledged the concern, responded without anger, and even tried to guide the fan toward a healthier approach. It's a lesson for everyone watching. The players on your favorite team are not just avatars for entertainment. They are people dealing with their own realities. And the best way to support them is to respect their boundaries. Public critique, passionate debate, and analysis of performance are all valid, even necessary parts of sports culture. But direct messaging with the expectation of correction or accountability crosses the line. This is especially true in cases where personal circumstances, health issues, or emotional stress are involved, there is also a larger point about how communities respond to this type of behavior. Fans sending messages like this often think they are making a statement or holding players accountable. But in reality, they are exposing themselves to criticism and ridicule for overstepping. The community, when it is functioning as it should, reinforces standards of behavior, respect, empathy, and understanding. Misguided attempts to provoke players not only fail in their intended purpose, they also reflect poorly on the person attempting them. It is important for fans to remember that the engagement we have with players should be grounded in respect, understanding, and a recognition of their humanity. Criticism can be constructive, but harassment is destructive. Wayne Thomas's reaction to this situation was the epitome of handling adversity with grace. He didn't respond with anger, didn't lash out, and didn't escalate conflict. He responded with faith, patience, and a clear sense of perspective. He reminded us that, despite the high stakes and intensity of professional sports, human dignity and personal boundaries must always come first. Fans often forget that their favorite players are dealing with pressures beyond what anyone can see. They are managing injuries, health conditions, personal loss, and mental stress, all while maintaining the focus and discipline required to perform at an elite level. Sending unsolicited messages with unrealistic expectations only adds to the burdens these athletes carry. The takeaway here is clear: players are human, and the way we engage with them matters. Passionate support and criticism are part of the experience, but harassment crosses the line. The Cowboys have players like Wayne Thomas, who respond with maturity, patience, and an unwavering commitment to their principles, even when confronted with inappropriate behavior. Recognizing this, understanding the context, and moderating our engagement is not a sign of weakness, it is a sign of respect. And that respect ultimately strengthens the relationship between fans and players. Direct messages or emails designed to provoke or criticize players personally are misguided, and they distract from what really matters: the game, the performance, and the human stories that make sports compelling. Respect, empathy, and awareness are not just nice ideas, they are essential. Fans have the right to critique, express frustration, and hold players accountable for on-field performance. That's part of being a passionate supporter, but the approach matters. Randomly targeting players, particularly during moments of personal or physical struggle, reflects a misunderstanding of the responsibilities we have as fans. When players are dealing with injuries or personal losses, as Thomas was, they deserve space, understanding, and the chance to recover without the added weight of unsolicited criticism. The way Thomas handled the fans' message reflects not only his faith, but his awareness that life and career challenges require patience, resilience, and perspective. His reaction sets an example for how we as fans should approach interaction with the athletes we admire, reminding us that respect and empathy are just as critical as analysis and opinion in the sports world. The reality is that sports are more than just highlights, touchdowns, and interceptions. They are a reflection of human effort, resilience, and the mental and physical challenges that come with competing at the highest level. Fans often forget that, behind every play, there is a person managing their own struggles, trying to stay focused, and giving everything they have to perform. When fans send messages out of frustration or expectation, it can create unnecessary pressure, and sometimes the way those messages are perceived can be very different from what the sender intended. In the case of Wayne Thomas, the fan thought they were offering criticism, but the reality is that the message landed in a place completely detached from the player's current reality, and it highlighted the disconnect that can occur when fans fail to recognize the humanity of athletes. Thomas, in his response, demonstrated a level of maturity and awareness that is rare in high-pressure environments. He took the situation, understood the intention, and redirected the energy in a way that was both wise and composed. By sharing a message of faith and perspective, he reminded us all that there are larger forces at play than just the immediate frustrations of the game. Athletes experience setbacks, injuries, and personal losses, and yet they continue to dedicate themselves to their craft with discipline and perseverance. Responding with patience rather than anger shows strength, and in this instance, it provided a clear lesson to the fan community about the importance of empathy, awareness, and timing when engaging with players. This situation also raises an important point about accountability, not just for players, but for fans themselves. Being a fan means investing emotionally, but it also means understanding boundaries. Critique is part of the game. It is natural to feel frustration when a team underperforms, But crossing the line into harassment erodes the very community that fans are trying to build. Engaging directly with players in a manner that is accusatory or invasive doesn't improve performance, it only creates tension and stress. The most effective way for fans to influence the team is through constructive discussion, informed analysis, and supportive engagement that respects the humanity of the players. Thomas's response was a masterclass in this, showing that understanding, patience, and perspective are more valuable than anger or blame in many ways. This is a reminder of why sports are about more than just winning. They are about resilience, mental toughness, and the ability to manage adversity both on and off the field. Thomas's handling of the situation demonstrates an understanding that the game does not exist in isolation from life's challenges. Injuries, migraines, personal loss, and the pressure to perform are all part of the landscape, and the way players navigate these realities often goes unseen by fans. The lesson here is that our role as supporters is to recognize the context, to hold players accountable in public discussion if necessary, but to avoid personal attacks, especially when those players are managing complex challenges. Direct messages intended to provoke or criticize are not only ineffective, they are disrespectful. They fail to consider the human experience behind the uniform. Another key point is the role of perspective in sports. It is easy to get caught up in the moment, to react to a single game, a single play, or a single performance, but Thomas's example teaches us that perspective is essential. The long-term development of a player, their health, and their personal growth are just as important as any immediate result on the scoreboard. Misguided attempts by fans to demand perfection, to critique indiscriminately, or to send unsolicited messages are often a reflection of impatience and a lack of understanding of the realities of professional sports. Athletes, especially in football, operate under incredible physical and mental strain. Their recovery, focus, and ability to maintain mental clarity are all critical to their performance. And interference from fans at the wrong time can disrupt rather than enhance that balance. For the Cowboys community, this is a teaching moment. Passion is part of being a fan, but it needs to be channeled appropriately. Venting frustration on social media, engaging in constructive discussion, and analyzing performance through commentary and debate are all valid expressions of fan energy. But targeting a player directly, with a message demanding discipline or questioning commitment, crosses a line. It is not a show of support. It is a mismanagement of personal emotion that places unnecessary weight on someone already carrying professional and personal responsibilities. Thomas's composed response serves as a reminder of the importance of empathy and the need to measure our actions as fans, recognizing that real lives exist behind the performances we analyze and enjoy. Before we roll on, subscribe to Cowboys Wire News, drop a like, and turn on the bell. Your support keeps the Dallas Cowboys updates coming. Tell us what you think in the comments. Whispers are swirling around Dallas as the Cowboys organization reels from a shocking internal shakeup. Sources close to the team suggest that the assistant coach has been dismissed following a scandal that has reportedly left Jerry Jones, the franchise's owner, livid, while details remain murky. Insiders hint that tensions within the locker room and management were reaching a boiling point long before this explosive move. Fans and analysts alike are speculating about what could have prompted such a dramatic decision. Some suggest that the assistant coach's relationship with key players had soured, potentially affecting on-field cohesion. Others point to alleged disagreements behind closed doors with the coaching staff, where conflicts over strategy and player management may have escalated into something far more serious. Regardless of the precise cause, the ripple effect is being felt throughout the organization, with speculation that the team's culture and internal dynamics are now under intense scrutiny. Jerry Jones' reaction, described by insiders as furious, has only added fuel to the fire. Known for his hands-on approach and intolerance for disruption, Jones reportedly called for immediate action. Once the situation came to light, the move has left fans wondering whether this is merely the first of several shakeups, as rumors circulate about potential shifts in both coaching and executive positions. Social media is ablaze with theories, with some fans praising the decisiveness, while others question the timing and its possible impact on the team's performance. Sports pundits are debating how this internal upheaval could influence morale and focus, especially given the high stakes surrounding the franchise's ambitions as the Cowboys navigate this turbulent period. Every decision, every rumor, and every leaked detail is being scrutinized, making it clear that the drama off the field might rival anything that happens on it for now. The identity of the replacement and the full extent of the scandal remain shrouded in secrecy, keeping fans, players, and the media on edge. One thing is certain, in Dallas, the whispers are growing louder, and the Cowboys' corridors are anything but quiet. That's a wrap from Cowboys Wire News. For breaking Cowboys updates, subscribe, drop a like, and turn on the bell. Tell us your take in the comments.